Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Doctor Who news special. This time, we're talking about the latest Blu-ray collection season to join the collection. That's a mouthful. I cock that up, but it's fine. We roll. Season 9's going to Blu-ray. Once again, I'm joined with Luke.
Yes, and this is just as we predicted, isn't it? In
It's
that,
like we knew.
yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure most other people were guessing the same thing, weren't they? There was even
Hmm.
a leaked listing. I believe, was it Monday at the start of the week? We
Yes,
had that leaked
yes,
listing.
yeah.
And then even on Thursday, we had the Amazon listing. The cover was revealed before the official announcement even came along. But then
Hmm.
3 o'clock, they dropped the wonderful trailer starring Katie Manning, and we got our full details as to what was coming on these 8 discs for season nine.
Yes.
Hmm. So, what did you make of that trailer first off?
It sort of completes the trilogy of Cliff and Joe, doesn't it? Without Cliff being
Yeah.
there. It's a beautiful tribute to Stuart Bevan and everything what sort of Russell built in like the death of the Doctor in the Sarah Jane special, really. And
Yeah, because you got the lipstick back, haven't you?
yes, it feels like very much like a passing of the torch, doesn't it?
Mm.
In a way. And forget about Beep the Meep. I want a baby sea devil.
I suppose Finn Jones is a bit too high profile these days to come back and do a
Yeah,
collection trailer.
that is
That
true.
would have been a surprising return, to say the least.
Mm,
But he might even be too high profile for a Doctor Who spin off at this point.
maybe,
Mm.
maybe.
But yeah, I mean, to be honest, the Sea Devil sort of gave me Pating vibes until you
Mm,
see that they almost the beak of it.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
certainly when you just see the eyes, it looks like the Pating.
Is it the best Sea Devil story since the Sea Devils? Probably.
Maybe.
I think it's
There's
better
they're
than
not
Legend. It's better than Legend of the Sea Devils. I'll say
a.
that. I'll say that. I preferred this.
uh, I mean, as for the other little details we get in this, we've
Mm.
got a making of the Time Monster, Michael Lee
Which
Bryant at the helm,
mm,
location, Katie Manning and friends revisiting locations of season 9, a profile of Stuart Fell called the Fell Guy, behind the sofa, of course.
mm.
You also get your little Blu-ray trailer again included, movie-length editions of Day of the Daleks and the Sea Devils, which we got told about that Sea Devils broadcast. I didn't hear about that until Stephen Noonan mentioned it being like his first experience of watching Doctor Who. Convention footage with Nicholas Courtney and Richard Franklin back in 1986. Back to the Sea Devils again for 5.1 surround and Dolby Atmos sound. That's a
First
first, isn't
time,
it?
yeah, first time
Yeah.
ever.
HD photo galleries, audio archive, info text, PDF archive, and then all your regular special features. You got Day of the Daleks special edition again, haven't you?
Yeah.
All that stuff. Yeah. What did you want to say about the making of the Time Monster?
Um, yeah, because the original, it's wrong to say making of the Time Monster. It's more about the hard science of Tom to itself. And it's basically the cast and crew talking about it. So it's not really a making of as such. So it'd be nice to actually have a proper, this is what the Time Monster's about, really.
And that was part of the Myths and Legends box set, wasn't it?
Yes.
I wonder if maybe being part of a box set like that meant that the budget was spread a bit thinner, rather than getting what you usually would for a standalone release, which you're making of.
Yeah,
You're just getting it all compiled into one.
I mean, with a boxer like Myths and Legend, it's not exactly the three strong stories. So
No.
I can see why they sort of bundled them up, really.
Yeah, probably cut a bit of the budget there because they didn't expect it to sell as well as some others. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's better than having an entire season 9 making of and it just vaguely skipping over the Time Monster.
This is one thing I will say. Season 9 is looking a bit more healthier in terms of new content compared to season 2. Sorry, season 2, but this looks like it's got some exciting things like location. That was really fun on season 22, and it looks like it's going to be a fun one. We're going to have Katie Manning on the trike, and it's just going to be hilarity ensues, isn't it? Really, it's Katie Manning.
always entertaining as Katie.
Mm.
Michael E. Bryant at the helm. I feel like he's one of the most exciting directors when you get him on a behind the scenes. Like,
He was
with a little
very good
interview.
on Fury from the Deep. That
mean,
making of.
Yeah. He always feels very youthful, doesn't he?
Yes.
Like, even though he is,
Yes.
he's getting quite old now, but he's still got a youthful energy about him. Really, I mean, he was young at the time, wasn't he, for a director on the show?
Yeah.
But yeah, like even now, he's still all there, and he's still giving it his all when it comes to his enthusiasm for the show and for talking about it. So it's always entertaining just to hear from him. So I'm happy to have a documentary profiling him a little bit more.
It feels like an In Conversation, but without Matthew Sweet, if that makes sense. Much like the same with the Stuart Fell one, really. They feel like of the same ilk.
Yeah. I mean, we sort of got a little preview of him out on a boat, didn't we?
Yeah.
So I suppose it's sort of like a bit bigger budget than an In Conversation, but a slightly less personal.
Yes. Yeah.
You lose Matthew Sweet digging deep into them, but you gain some fantastic visuals, a bit more flair, a bit more style, I suppose.
Yeah. You can definitely tell Chris Chapman's probably involved with that, with like the drone shots.
Yeah.
He likes his drones, just Chris Chapman.
The Fell guy, I loved the Havoc documentary they did back on the Inferno.
Yes, that was lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Oh, Haydock versus Havoc, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so more of Stuart Fell. That's always wonderful. Really getting to dive into that. And I think what will be good about this is hopefully it'll go beyond the Pertwee years. Because I think with Haydock versus Havoc, that was very much, Havoc in the Pertwee era, whereas Stuart Fell continued way beyond that. I mean, we saw that he went up to the 5 Doctors and probably even beyond that, didn't he? Getting his head chopped off by the Rastan Warrior robot. So it'll be nice to have that wider look at Stuart Fell's career in this. So behind the sofa, got some interesting combos here, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. We've got Katie Manning and Michael E. Bryant, which, nice to have like an actor and director's point of view. And then,
like we said, Michael E. Bryant, wonderful hearing him talk about. Has he been on Behind the Sofa before?
I want to say it rings a bell. Rings a bell that he has.
Yeah, but I think he was more there with like the behind the scenes crew, wasn't he?
You're thinking of the direct route.
Oh, I might be.
Yeah, they had all like the directors for season 8, didn't they? Going around.
Oh, and who's the model shot guy?
Matt Irving?
Matt Irving. It might be him I'm confusing it as well, because he was on, I think that was season 17.
He was on 17.
Hudson, and who else was there with them? It was 2 of them and someone else, wasn't it? Director, I believe. It wasn't Michael.
Graham Harper.
There, that was it. Yeah, those 3. They were good together.
Yeah, they were a nice trio.
Speaking of nice trios, the 5th Doctor, Nyssa and Tegan are reuniting. Pete Davidson, Sarah Sutton, and Janet Fielding to watch season 9.
That'd be nice to have Davo watching some Pertwee.
Yeah, that should be good. It's nice now that we're expanding out and getting different Doctors watching each other. Yeah,
that's nice. I can't wait to see his reaction to the trike in Day of the Daleks. I think we've seen it in the trailer going, what's that?
Yeah. And then we've also got Wendy Padbury and Sophie Aldred together.
Interesting combo.
Yeah. It's a shame we don't have Wendy Padbury with Janet Fielding, because hilarity ensues then, but nevertheless, it's nice having Wendy watching another one, and Sophie Aldred, can't go wrong there. I think she often gets paired off with the 60s companion you were saying, weren't you?
Yes. Because she's been with Peter Purvis for like season 14, so yeah. But it's nice to have like the bookend of the start of the classic series and the bookend of it, to sort of judge the middle section, as it were, of Classic Who.
You sort of like got the rise, the peak, and then you got the fall. And a little rise again at the end.
Yeah.
It's a bumpy road, is Classic Who.
But we love it. We love it.
Yeah.
Speaking
we're spending all this money on it.
Yeah, speaking of sort of bumpy road, season 9 for people is a bit of a bumpy road. So if we take a look at the stories quickly, because we've done a whole tier list of the whole Third Doctor era. I'll leave a link in the description below to the playlist so you can check out what we think of it, because you haven't checked out 2 of these stories, have you?
No, I haven't yet. Yeah, if you go back and watch our season 9 on that particularly, it's broken up into 5 parts we did by season. I sort of had to hand over the reins to you for the mutants and the Time Monster. So for this, I've seen a good half and a bit of this season. But I never quite got around to getting the DVDs of the Time Monster and the mutants. I was trying to eke it out, if as it were. I didn't want to finish all my Pertwee just yet. You know, it's always nice knowing that you've got a little bit more to go. But now I think it's been a good 6-7 years since I watched the Mind of Evil. I'm pretty sure that was my most recent new Pertwee before this. So I think it's probably about time I get around to finishing it. And I was waiting for season 9 to come along on Blu-ray, really. I didn't want to go out and get the DVDs just for this to then be announced the next day. So
painful.
Yeah, it'll be nice to sit down, go through, start with Day, do it properly, go through Curse, Sea Devils, and then dive into some new Pertwee.
I mean,
because there's stories I don't actually know all that much about either. Like, there's some times where you've seen abundance of clips from them already before you've even watched the story. But with these, I don't know all too much about. I know about Baby Benton. Tom Tit, of course, infamous.
And come, Kronos, come!
But yeah, for the most part, all I've really seen is what's on trailers.
I mean, a lot of people say that this is the weakest Pertwee season, which, as a Pertwee fan, there's no bad Pertwees. Best era, and most consistent. But it'd be nice for people, because this is the joy of the collection range. We've said it before, it's a chance to reevaluate, reappraise, and hopefully Time Monster and the Mutants can get that reappraisal.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Because Day of the Daleks, it's Doctor Who does Terminator, and it's brilliant.
It's a great little premiere story as well, isn't it?
Yes.
It's got exactly what you need to throw you in. I think this is probably a good first set for someone who's new to Classic Who. Diving in, you've got a Dalek story to start you off, and then from there, you'll end up with the Master eventually as well. So it seems like a good way to go about that. Whereas starting with season 8, you end up with 5 Master stories, which might not be the best starting place for a new viewer. Whereas this does seem well built to introducing new fans to Classic Who.
And then we have the rather interesting Curse of Paladin, a fan favourite for many people. Paladin, great rich world, what we'll revisit 2 seasons later. And a good story overall.
Get our Ice Warriors back as well, who aren't on the cover, funnily enough.
You've
got Alpha Centauri in instead.
I thought you'd get Islia on the cover or something like that.
It is odd actually, now that I think about it, not to have the Ice Warriors there.
But I guess they're covered with Alpha. That's your Paladin love.
Yeah, and I suppose you'll probably get them on season 11, won't you, when that rocks up?
I guess maybe that's why, because it's either you have Alpha on 11 and then Ice Warriors on 9. I don't know. It makes more sense for them to be on 11. Yeah,
because they're actual villains there.
The villains, yeah. Spoilers if you've not seen Curse of Paladin.
Or Monster.
9 times out of 10, you've probably seen it if you're watching this. And then we move on to the Mutants. Well, Sea Devil, sorry. Great story. My favourite story of all time. So I'm very happy to have that on Blu-ray.
It's going to be exciting hearing the surround sound for that as well. 5.1 with the Dolby.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know how many people are actually. Yeah, don't know how many people actually have the capability to enjoy that in full.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's nice to have it.
Are you excited at all by the movie lengths of Day and the Sea Devils? Because I don't. You're much more of a purist fan, aren't you? You don't like the cut down so much.
I don't want to lose any John. But it'd be interesting to watch just to see it. Really.
Yeah, I kind of want to give it a go. Just to sort of see what it was like for people like Stephen Noonan back in 1972, watching that rebroadcast for the first time. Because I mean, it's just a curiosity, really, isn't it? You're always going to have the definitive version as the broken down into parts one.
Yeah,
but it's nice to see a little omnibus there, and I think especially for Sea Devils, where that's going to have the surround sound, where you have quite a powerfully directed piece.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the scale that's provided by the Navy, lending themselves to this production, it is going to almost feel like a movie. So having it in movie length with that surround sound, that'll be an interesting experience. One to grab the popcorn for, perhaps.
I mean, that's for disc. I'm probably going to go straight for.
No surprise there.
No surprise there. I just can't wait for it to arrive. And then Mutants. I think that has got a lot of Barry Letts in it, like with the strong sort of moral message to it. It does have a bit of padding, but you don't mind it. It's a lot of fun. And it's sort of a nice sort of sci-fi thing of like the British Empire leaving India type thing. I think that's sort of the basis of that story.
That'd be interesting.
And then
I know there's a little reference in Frontier in Space, isn't there?
Yeah,
like something, because that was my first Pertwee, so it's something I've known about for a very long time, where they're in the prison cell and Joe says, "You mean like Solos?" when they talk about the colonies and stuff and Earth branching out its empire, and the Doctor's like, "Well, those are the declining years."
Yeah,
that'd be interesting. And Time Monster, take it away.
It's just a lot of fun, a lot of Tom Tittery, a lot of time ramming. If you treat it as a comedy, it's a bit like The Chase. If you treat it as a comedy, then you'll have fun. But it's got such a real good opener. With like the Doctor's dream of the Master. It's really good.
I think I'm particularly excited for that one because, that's going to be last Roger Delgado and last new Nicholas Courtney and Richard Franklin, John Levine as well.
Yeah. I mean...
Well, certainly Nicholas Courtney. You never know. John Levine and Richard Franklin still around. Could turn up in a 60th or beyond.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of like last Delgado, this is the last Delgado and Katie Manning Blu-ray.
Yeah, they're going to be completed now, aren't they?
Yeah, it's quite
satisfying. Jo's the second classic companion to be completed, isn't she?
Third, I think, or fourth.
Yeah, it might be fourth. You got Adric in full.
Romana 2. You've got Mel.
Yeah, I suppose it depends whether you count Romana 2 as separate from Romana 1, isn't it?
And technically, Vicky has all her stories on Blu-ray.
Yeah, she does. Oh no, Mythmakers.
But that existed. I say existing.
Yeah, existing. Yeah.
There we go.
You do have Galaxy 4 on Blu-ray.
Yeah. So there we go.
So, yeah, certainly we're now sort of ticking a lot more off, aren't we, at this point?
Well, this is the halfway mark, this box set. This is 13.
If you want to know what we think the next 13 will be, check out our prediction video as we go through. I'm imagining we're going to get less and less accurate as that goes on. We got season 9 right. Did we put 20 next, or did we?
20, yeah, I think 20.
So yeah, 20 is the one to look out for next. I think that's definitely happening this year.
Yeah,
it's just a question of whether or not it'll be the next set or the one after. Because this is coming out March 20th, or at least that's when it's scheduled.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, hopefully it'll keep to that. So I imagine we'll be able to squeeze 3 in this year, one over the summer and one towards the winter as we're settling down for the 60th itself, perhaps. And yeah, I'm pretty sure season 20 is going to be one of those two, because it's been ages since we've had a Davo.
Yeah, 2019, 2018, 2018.
Yeah, 18, isn't? Yeah,
Yeah.
December 18. The second ever collection set, and then since then he's had nothing.
I mean, season 20 is like the worst kept secret in the collection range at this
Yeah,
point.
I think that would have happened long ago if it wasn't for COVID, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because I think they were going to film in Amsterdam, weren't they? And I think they've got around to it now, but certainly that didn't happen. I mean, you even had, I believe it's Isla Blair. Was she the actress who was in
King's Demons?
King's Demons? Yeah, on a Big Finish. She was talking about how she recently did a documentary back at that castle or whatever it was for the King's Demons.
Oh.
And that wasn't on the recent River Song set. That was a set before that. I can't remember what I listened to of her in. But yeah, I remember her talking about that on behind the scenes, thinking, yeah, that's definitely happening, but we still haven't got it just yet.
Just have to wait. But for now, we can salivate and go, oh, season 9.
Yeah. What should we going to cover, by the way?
I was just going to mention the cover. I think I like it, but I think it's a little bit too zoomed in because you have John with both hands. It makes it look a bit cramped and squashed.
Yeah, it does look a bit awkward because it's sort of like tried to copy that pose of him calming down Agador, but because it's front on and because he's meant to be standing up straight, look proud, look strong for the collection set. Whereas if he's calming down Agador, he'd be like leaning forward slightly to seem less threatening, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
So it sort of doesn't quite work. It's trying to do both, but it does look a bit awkward.
I still like it. I
love the layout of the monsters on it. I think that's one of the best layouts they've had with that, how it cascades down to the sides. I think sometimes they do look a bit thrown together, the pictures they use and how they've thrown them on there, but this one in particular really does something for me, the composition of those monsters.
I'm surprised there's no Delgado.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Unless they want to keep it a surprise. But I guess the people buying these box sets, no Delgado's in it.
He's on the disc for the Time Monster.
So I guess that counts, I guess.
Yeah. It's not on any of the interior artwork either, because it's mutants for that wonderful little cover for the little flat bit, isn't there?
Yeah, and you've got the mutt silhouette over Joe and the TARDIS, which is great. And you even got Agador on the cover, which I was quite proud I spotted.
Yeah, and a little reflection, isn't he?
Yeah, it's nice, lovely.
You are Agador. If you're looking at this set in person, you are Agador.
You are Agador. That's nice.
Also on the cover, I also love like the almost gel look of the title sequence. I think that's rather nicely done.
Yeah, I like the shade of purple because I think purple is probably the color of season 9 because like Paladin, purple's the color for Paladin.
Yeah. Yeah, I stand corrected on that because I did say in our little prediction video, so like a light blue to represent the sea for the Sea Devils would have worked, but actually this works very well with the purple there.
Yeah, and the costume for John makes sense because he wore it for 2 stories: Curse of Paladin and Time Monster. So that's 10 episodes of the season right there with that costume. I guess people were expecting the Sea Devil look because like it's the main promo images of John, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
on
but
merch.
I think you mentioned that they're probably saving it. Well, not quite that look, but the season 7 look is rather similar, isn't it? It's often mistaken for the same.
Yeah.
So they're probably saving that sort of look for season 7 so that they can make them more distinct.
Yeah. And plus, you're kind of spoiled for choice with like what outfit you have for John on the cover because pretty much every story there's a different costume. Yeah,
so like on all the collections, you're sort of like damned whatever you do, really, because there's always going to be someone who would have preferred a different costume. So yeah, you just got to make do and hope you please enough people, which I think they've done very well with so far.
Yeah, they have indeed.
I mean, you've also got the Day of the Daleks look on the booklet, and that's a very nice little image there with the Dalek point of view.
I love that a lot.
So good. You mentioned it gives off that series 3 updated Blu-ray, didn't you?
Yeah.
With Martha and Tennant there in the Dalek view. But yeah, that's a wonderful little image. In the tunnel as well, isn't it? The way that's worked into like the eye stalk point of view.
And you've even got sort of the time tunnel effect on the disc as the motif for it as well, which is nice.
That works very well.
Because I like it when the disc's background has a gimmick, like season 26 has like the Excalibur light, and season 8 has the Axos background. You know, I like it when it uses it in like Seal of Rassilon for season 14.
Yeah, that looks very nice on 14, doesn't it? That suits it very well. Yeah, I think it all works very nicely on this one. You've got that iconic look for the Sea Devils, don't you? With the Third Doctor there.
The minefield, yeah. I think the discs are a step up, because I think the discs were becoming a bit lackluster with Here's Doctor and Companion, when they should have a bit of monsters where you get the monsters on there. You can see like Actuoris, you can see like the Dalek on there. So I feel like there's a bit more variety on there.
I like the framing of the Doctor and the Master on that Time Monster disc.
That is very nice.
Yeah, I mean, 8 discs as well. What do you think of that?
Fine by me. Fine by me. You know, the more of a disc, the merrier. I mean, this is £50, which when season 2 was announced, like, oh, that's understandable. It's 9 discs. It's a big chunky one. £50, all right. I think 50 quid's become the new standard price for these sets.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, you probably are getting more on this than you did with season 2 anyway.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, less episodes, but definitely more in terms of special features. And also just, you know, the way you can view the episodes, because you've got special edition of Day of the Daleks, so it's almost like you got 30 episodes here.
It feels more like a complete archive than what season 2 is, sadly. Maybe that's because the Crusade's still missing or are not animated, so you do feel a little bit cheated that way. But with this, you are getting pretty much every version of a story you physically can.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? And it's just going to be wonderful to have this in hand in, fingers crossed, just under 2 months.
Yeah, we've both got our pre-orders in. It's just waiting at the door now for it to drop through the letterbox.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Is there anything else left to say now?
It's just gorgeous. I need a TARDIS now so I can go and get it.
Just need a bit of a Volusian lullaby to put us to sleep after this good news.
Oh, I know. It feels like Christmas. It's wonderful.
It's come around very early this year.
Oh, yes, it has, and it's a real treat. A late birthday present for me, if it sticks to March. It's great.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be nice. A little late birthday present to myself, because I'm sad. You know, it's all right. But yeah, I think that pretty much concludes our thoughts on Season 9's announcement Blu-ray. Yeah, very excited. Better start making room on the shelf for it if you haven't already. Then it's time to start making room for Season 9.
Yeah, it's awkward now because the collection's gotten to the point where it's no longer this little novelty on the shelf. It's taking up a considerable chunk of it.
Like you didn't expect it to do that.
Yeah, it's come around quickly though. I mean, what are we? Is it 6 years into the collection at this point?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's still going very strong.
Long
no
may
signs
it continue.
of stopping. Yeah,
there we go.
Just got to look forward to the next announcement now and plug in one more time. Like we say, we've got that prediction video out if you want to see what we think that one could be. Alongside that, our Third Doctor era ranked. You can check that out as well. All the plugs. But for now... Oh, one more plug. Oh, go on. We had a Season 2 stream for the previous. Yeah. Check that out if you want our full thoughts on Season 2 and how disappointed we were in some of the... in the lack of space, but how much we enjoyed what we did get. I think I think that's a lot of it, isn't it, really? Yeah, it's like, what's there is very good. Just more, please. Yes. And it looks like this is living up to that. So, yeah. Thank you for the outro. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. If you've enjoyed this video,
please do leave a like. And if you're new around here, please do subscribe. Let us know your thoughts on Season 9 joining the collection range. So, with us gushing, it's time to end. So thank you for everyone, and goodbye.